The low-pressure area east of Visayas has developed into a tropical depression named Agaton. More areas have been moved under the most lenient alert level 1, with the health department reporting a plateau in new cases. Following public backlash, the education department recalls modules that were said to have put Vice President Leni Robredo in a bad light. Creamline completes its sweep of the PVL Open Conference after outplaying Petrogas in the finals. Meanwhile, in the PBA, Barangay Ginebra recovers to the final series at 1-1 against Meralco. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your weekend. I'm Riza Diaz. The low-pressure area east of Samar has now developed into a tropical depression. The tropical depression called Agaton is currently located 120 kilometers east of Guian, eastern Samar. It has maximum sustained winds of 45 kilometers per hour, moving west-northwestward. Meanwhile, a larger tropical storm with international name Malakas is still outside the country's area of responsibility, specifically east of Mindanao. Now, because of this, Visayas and Mindanao are expected to experience a rainy Holy Week. The number of passengers heading back to provinces have reached pre-pandemic levels as Holy Week draws near. Shaila Francisco has the report.
Long lines greeted passengers leaving Manila at NAIA Terminal 3. Inside, more passengers can be seen waiting at the check-in counters. Maricel's family is among those departing today for Bacolod. They want to maximize their Holy Week vacation. That's why they are staying there until Easter Sunday.
Kasi medyo ngayon yung maluwag na biyahe. Kasi syempre bumalik na parang normal na yung situation, kaya given na yung dami ng tao talaga.
Domestic passenger volume at the NAIA reached 80% of the pre-pandemic level last month. The numbers are expected to further increase next week. In ports, passengers are also starting to surge today. Some are opting for sea travel because of the cheaper fare and the no limit to luggage.
Steadily nag-i-increase yung passenger traffic natin sa Manila North Port dahil 100% capacity na yung barko. Nandun na tayo sa pre-pandemic level natin, nasa mga 1,000 to 1,100 daily.
It's the same case at the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, where passenger volume have exceeded pre-pandemic levels. Up to 100,000 passengers used the terminal daily this past week, higher than the 60 to 70,000 volume before the pandemic.
We're experiencing historic numbers. Ang nakakagulat dito, may mga ilang araw na nakakaranas tayo ng mahigit 100,000. Nakakapagtaka kasi nararanasan lang natin yan usually pagka may mga okasyon tulad ng Pasko, Holy Week or Undas.
PTEX is expecting a further increase to 120,000 this Holy Week. The management says they have deployed 2,000 additional buses to meet the increasing demand. Shaila Francisco, WR1 News.
More areas in the country will be placed under alert level 1. Recall that the IATF earlier placed Metro Manila and 48 other areas under the lightest alert level until April 15. This after the health department announced that the country is experiencing a plateau in infections. However, the DOH Technical Advisory Group is still not keen on de-escalating the alert status for COVID-19. Among those now under the lightest alert level are Mountain Province, Talisay City, and Masbate City. The rest are flashed on your screens. Meanwhile, the WHO is calling on governments to step up efforts to boost vaccination, including going door to door just to ensure everyone gets immunized. This as they warn of another possible spike in COVID infections. Greg Gregorio with a story.
A new COVID surge might be in the offing. The World Health Organization sees that happening in the next 2 months. This as level of activity is expected to increase due to the elections, the Ramadan, and the Holy Week. The Health Department, likewise, is not discounting that possibility.
yung pagpunta po dun sa mga enclosed spaces, political rallies, and now we are going to have the May 9 elections. The risk factor is very high, the probability is very high that we can have increase in the number of cases in the coming weeks to come.
The Octa Research Group issued a similar warning. The think tank is monitoring an uptick in infections in northern Mindanao. Based on trends, Octa said a surge may happen sooner rather than later.
Ito kasi sa atin, nabanggit natin na mga 3 months. Kung January tayo nagka-surge plus 3 months, so mga April, ngayon na. And nakita tayong uptick in some regions sa Pilipinas, especially siguro yung mga medyo mababa yung vaccine coverage.
The WHO can't harp on this enough. Vaccination is key. They want government to step up efforts, including more targeted approaches like home vaccination. 66% of the population has been fully vaccinated, but booster take-up remains low. To improve those figures, health experts are mulling putting expiration dates on vaccination cards.
Kasi sa ibang countries, may validity yung inyong back certificate. So, ang tinignan ko na yan, mayroong pinakamaiksi ay 3 months, mayroong 5 months, may 6 months, may 7 months, may 9 months, ang pinakamahaba ay 1 year. So why? Kasi waning ang immunity.
What is especially worrisome, said Dr. Nina Gloriani, is that cases in neighboring countries are spiking like Thailand and South Korea. This as they battle the spread of the BA2 variant. As for Omicron XE, detected in Thailand, the DOH said we have yet to report Omicron recombinants in the country, including the XE. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Education Department recalls modules with negative comments about Vice President Leni Robredo. In a statement, the Division of City Schools in Manila said they have directed all schools to retrieve both hard and soft copies of the modules that went viral online. The agency has since apologized for the incident. Meanwhile, Robredo called DepEd out, saying the department should never release anything that would, quote, poison the minds of the children against anybody. The Creamline Cool Smashers bagged the PVL Open Conference Finals after successfully rappelling the Petrogas Angels. Creamline was a dominant force in the league, remaining undefeated in 8 games. Creamline captain Eliza Valdez scored 20 points and in Game 2 of the finals. Now, she was named Finals MVP after scoring almost all fronts, including several service aces and crucial blocks in the junctions of the game. Now, Tots Carlos was named Conference MVP, and the best opposite spiker was also a driving force in Creamline's sweep of its final series. Meanwhile, Barangay Ginebra thwarted Meralco Bulls in Game 2 of the PBA Governors Cup, tying the series at 1-1. The nail-biter Game 2 match ended with the Gin Kings winning by a 5-point lead, 96-91. The two teams are set to resolve Game 3 of their best out of 7 series tomorrow. After the lockdowns caused by the pandemic, Vietnam is now also reeling from the lack of visitors from Russia amid the invasion of Ukraine. Let's listen in on this Bloomberg Quick Take.
Vietnamese famous destinations like Nha Trang City have been waiting so long for the moment of full reopening for international tourists on March the 15th, after about 2 years shut down due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But now they are facing another challenge. Russian travelers are not coming due to the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Ổn định là từ hiện tại bên anh sẽ dành 70% để kế hoạch đó là để phục vụ khách ngang, mà giờ không về thì cái 70% đó hiện tại bên anh đang nhượng lại cho phía nội địa, tập trung trở lại các nội địa để mà xử lý cái phần giải quyết cái vấn đề doanh thu.
Just about 300 meters from the beach, the street I'm standing here used to be very crowded with Russian travelers who love to experience local city life during their stay in Nha Trang.
Với việc không còn khách du lịch Nga đi sang Việt Nam và đi sang Khánh Hòa thì ước tính của chúng tôi là chỉ riêng trong tháng 3 thôi, doanh thu ước tính của chúng tôi đã sụt giảm gần 40% so với ước tính ban đầu. Nếu như không có chiến tranh xảy ra thì với việc không có doanh thu như vậy nó sẽ ảnh hưởng rất là lớn đến các kế hoạch nhân sự, kế hoạch chi phí, kế hoạch bảo trì và kế hoạch phát triển sản phẩm du lịch của thị trường du lịch Việt Nam.
Other Russian tourist hotspots from Thailand to the Maldives to Cuba are in the same predicament. The Russia-Ukraine war has scuttled hopes of a near-term recovery post the COVID-19 pandemic. Airspace closures and cancellations of airline services to and from Russia are major obstacles for Russians wanting to travel to those destinations. As of mid-March, about 2,000 Russians were still stuck in Phuket. Many are paying bills in cash or using China's UnionPay platform, as American Express, MasterCard and Visa blocked Russian banks from the payment networks.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 9 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.